had. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because it might be able to help you out there. Um, in case anybody didn't know, for many of us women, unfortunately, we have a lot of things that we have to worry about just existing. So we have people stalking us, people being weird, people getting angry if we don't accept, if we don't give them our phone number, or we're not interested in them romantically, or we don't respond to their cat calls. There's a hundreds of things we need to be concerned about. And now this has unlocked something else. I'm going to tell you what happened to me, but I only found out that that was a store walker last night. So this happened to me a week or two ago. Um, so no, it wasn't a week or two. I was shopping for Christmas. So, well, maybe okay, yeah, about 2 weeks ago. So about two weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. But yeah, I was shopping for my Christmas meal. I had to buy a lot of things, right? So the whole entire cart was filled up to the top. I had to buy lots of different things, from the toy section all the way to the food, all the way to electronics, all the way to stationery, to produce. We literally went through the entire store, the home and garden. We shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, beauty. We went to every section of that store. We were in Walmart for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. There was a man. There's a certain type, each of us have like a certain type of people that, notices us a bit more than others, right? So for me, the people that like to stalk and follow me around tend to be people who are like 4'10", 4'11", of Hispanic descent, Spanish speaking people. I don't know why. As a Black woman, I don't know why, but they tend to obsess over me. I'm not sure why. I don't get it, but okay. Considering I'm like almost, with high heels on, I'm literally a foot taller than they are. I don't know what the obsession is with me, but anyway, so from the time I walked into Walmart, I put my purse on my neck, I've got a crossbody, got the kids situated, had my cart, opened up my purse to pull out my scroll of a list because I had to get everything. I look over and there's a little tiny man standing really, really close to me. So I just assumed that the little man was trying to steal my purse. So I told the kids, come on, come by mommy, stick like glue. I was like, to my youngest, I said, hold on to because I would like to wear those furry shawls you guys have seen me in, with the fur on the cuffs and the fur on the collar. So I told them, do not let that go. So every aisle we went down, the little man was following us. The little 4'10", 4'11" man was following us. The baby's like, Mom, that man's following us everywhere. Why is he? The baby said it real, real loud. He's like me. We have the same personality. So he's like, Mom, why is that tiny little man following us? And he said something that maybe he shouldn't have said. He said, Mom, should we call? And I explained to the baby how it's not nice to say that. The 3-letter words. Some might put cube after the 3-letter words, blank cube. But anyway, I was like, no, please don't say that. So by the time we got to this is an hour in now, the man is in every aisle that we're in and he has bought nothing. He's got nothing in his hands. I start involving the Walmart workers. So every Walmart worker, I said, we're being followed, and Christmas is, in 2 days, and I need to get this stuff, and I don't have time to just ditch my cart and leave, but I'm being stalked. So I got my camera out, I'm videotaping this tiny little man, and the Walmart workers are now following me around to follow this man around. So they're stopping what they're doing. I've got 3 of them. 2 of them are Jamaican women. And if you guys know anything about Jamaican women, they do not fucking play. They do not play. So the Jamaican ladies, they're like, he's got me effed up. He goes, the ladies go, you're being nice, because if it was me, he'd be running, screaming by now. So they're like, yep, he's in every, and they're being loud too. They're like, yep, he's in every aisle you go down, every aisle, literally not buying anything. So I'm like, I'm going to need to call the police because I'm scared that this man's going to follow me home. They're like, the employees, they're all like watching, and they're telling other employees about what's happening in the Walmart, that I'm being followed around by this tiny little man. And the one lady, the white lady goes, he looks like a day laborer. I don't think he wants us to call the police because he could have some, issues with, blank cube. Remember the 3-letter word cube? And the baby goes, Mom, if she's allowed to say that, how come I can't say? I'm like, oh God. But anyway, I'll talk to you about it later, baby. I'll talk to you about it later. But anyway, so the little tiny man is still following me. So he's following me. I literally am walking in a circle and he's following me in a circle. I'm like, I literally went from produce into the frozen, around to produce again and around, and he's literally following me. So I'm like, okay. So then I tell them, get security. So the security guard comes and I tell them what's going on. And then I don't see the little man for about 5 or 10 minutes. So by this time I'm getting the last 5 items out of that huge scroll of a list. It was front and back filled up all the way with columns on the front and the back. So, I got the last couple of items and I'm checking out, and guess who's there? With nothing in the checkout aisle. It's the tiny little man. So before I can pay for my stuff, the tiny little man, he's in the next, in the self-checkout next to us. I was, I had full cart, so I had to go to like a person checkout. So the tiny little man is there, following us around again. So he leaves before we leave, but I, of course, have been videotaping him. I see him. So he leaves first. The security walks us out. I've got my camera going to I'm scanning it. Like I'm like scanning the whole parking lot just in case, like I can go look at the video later and see where he's at. So I'm like, and then I have my dash thing on my dashboard, the little phone holder. So I'm recording as I leave, and I have to go to 4 other stores. So I'm like, yeah. So Max is like, Mom, can we just go home because this man's following us? Maybe he's deranged. Maybe he wants to commit a crime before he gets deported. Maybe he's on a crime spree before deportation. I'm like, baby, maybe it might be. I mean, it might be true. He's very, yeah, he's very ahead of his time. This kid. The baby in the back seat goes, see, this is why you shouldn't do drugs, bro. So he's the king of clapbacks. So this little one, he's got his little one-liners going. He goes, Mom, do you think he's an alcoholic? I'm like, well, if he's capable of doing this stuff, he's probably, into some pretty dark stuff. So maybe, so we go to the next store and I'm like, if I go to the next store and we see him, I'm definitely calling 911. So I was like freaked out for 2 days afterwards. So I saw a video last night of the Wal-Mart store walkers. It popped up on my news feed of where they're supposed to follow. So they're sitting in their cars. They work for Walmart. They're like the theft prevention. I don't know if that's what he was, but he fit the description where they walk down every aisle following you, not buying anything, and they're assigned to you. So when they're assigned to you, they have to follow you. They have to watch every move that you're making, and they have to leave with you as well. They have to leave the store when you leave the store. It's a part of their skit, because I'm like, once all the Walmart employees got involved, like most crazy people, they would be like, oh shit, I'm caught. I better get out of here. But those little 4'10", 4'11" men and women, they're usually the ones that stalk me all day long everywhere I go. Like they get real obsessed. They get real Yolanda, Yolanda, like the lady who killed Selena. They get real Yolanda with me. It's a sick obsession. Yeah. It's very strange. Very strange. The Black people usually just compliment me and are kind. The white people just compliment me and are kind. The Asian people just compliment me and are kind. But those Yolandas, they're obsessed. I trigger them. Anyway, yeah, very strange. I don't know. I'm sure each person out there, you have that certain group of people that's always like watching and stalking you. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but yeah, it's very weird. So I'm starting to think maybe he was not a stalker and he just worked for Walmart and they paid him to stalk, customers. And I was just his assignment that day. But yeah, that dude almost landed himself in handcuffs. But yeah, very weird. So beware that if this stuff happens to you, of course, record the person, get Walmart personnel involved, but The reason why I'm skeptical that it's not a store walker is because I involve security in everything. Because they could have just gone up to security and been like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? This is my target. I'm actually supposed to be following. Like, they didn't. Yeah. All right, guys. JamieZebra23.com to top for now. Love you long time. Just be safe out there. So there's just like now an extra layer of like fear that you're being stalked. So just don't be afraid if this is happening in Walmart. Like I said, just get security and the other employees involved. And of course, be diligent, but it could just be a store walker. So don't get, let's not add this to the list of psychos, right? Like maybe they're being paid to stalk. All right, JamieZebra23.com to top for now. Love you long time.